Do. We should be going live. What's that? Schedule. Uh, uh, uh. We'll start. And, and we're live. We're live. Do. Let me see. Comments. All right. Um, is the sound synchronized? No, I don't think so. It doesn't look synchronized. Um, how does it look over here? That is the trick to synchronizing sound. Let's see what happens. Yeah. All right, we're good. We got sound synchronized. All right, so we're gonna give a few minutes for people to start popping in, and yeah. So basically, before just to kind of set some expectations for this, I'm Jimmy Flores, and I'm gonna be talking to you a little bit about whether or not coding boot camps are worth it. I guess because you can imagine that I'm a big fan of Ironhack because I not only happen to work here, but because I think the product is fantastic. I see how the product has helped a lot of people. So, but a lot of times when you're shopping around for a boot camp, you really don't know what you don't know. So you don't know which questions you should be asking. You have a lot of doubts of whether or not that price tag is justified. So we're going to talk in this live stream about all of these different things that make coding boot camps worth it or not, because that's the other thing. Just because it's worth it to some people doesn't mean it's worth it to everyone. So that's kind of what we'll be talking about. You can ask questions. That's the thing. The really interesting part about this is that you get to ask questions. You get to participate. Just leave comments down below in the Facebook live feed. Um, Either myself or someone else on the Ironhack team will be firing off these questions to me, and I'll see if I can answer things as we move along. I don't really want to leave things to the end because we forget stuff. So the idea is to, as I'm talking, to try and have this be as conversational as possible. So the idea is for not just for me to spew information to you, but for me to share what I believe are like some of the most fundamental things to consider. And then along the way, if you have questions, doubts, if you disagree, if you agree, whatever it is, leave a comment and let's have a dialogue, let's have a discussion, let's have a conversation, because that's when these things really are valuable for you. Because if you have questions and I can help you with some advice, then mission accomplished. So, what time is it? We're right on time. It's 5:01 right now. So maybe we'll give like 2 or 3 more minutes for whomever is going to keep popping in here, and then we'll get started. So this should be fun. Let me see. If do you have any questions like right now that you would like answered along the course of this? Because if you do, you can leave them in the comment section below right now, and I'll make sure to either answer them whenever that point comes across, or now, or afterwards. Depends. So, yeah, if you have any questions, um, leave them in the comments, and make sure if you're watching this on Facebook Live to thumb it up, heart it, wow it, whatever you want. Even if you have an angry face, because there's always someone that's going to leave an angry face. So if that's going to be you, try not to. But if it is, then oh well, angry face. But so yeah. So what else? What else? So who am I? So I'm Jimmy. I work for Ironhack. I am part of the content team. So basically, my biggest goal here is to tell the Ironhack story as best as possible to help answer all of the questions that you might have when considering signing up to a coding bootcamp. And really, my approach is I want to help you answer. I want to help you get the information you need, regardless of whether or not you're thinking about signing up to Ironhack or whether you're comparing boot camps. That is up to you. All I can do is, tell you what we're about and try and help you find the best questions and information that will help you make the right decision. Or not even the right decision, sorry, your own decision. So, because to me, the right decision is obviously coming to Ironhack. But hey, no, that's just me. I'm a little biased here. So let's see. 5:03. We're gonna give 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. So I'm gonna try and entertain you here for 2 more minutes. I do have to begin by apologizing. I haven't gotten a haircut recently, so my hair is looking a little messed up. But next week there'll be more live streams. The hair will be cut, nice and faded, and yeah. So, anyways, so yeah. So basically, to recap, we're going to be talking about whether or not coding boot camps are worth it. They might be worth it to some people. My coworkers here are laughing at me. Here, just so they think they're not safe. That's Willie right there, Big Willie. Oh yeah, Willie, baby. Over there, you got Queen Irene. You have Albanana over there too. Can you say hi? They can't. They're not even paying attention to me. Say hi. Say hi to the peoples. There you go. This is the campus. Right here is where we have a whole bunch of events, workshops, conferences. You got the students back there, and you got me right here. Oh, there I am. So, okay, it's 5:04. One more minute. One more minute, and that's it. And we're not waiting any longer. So I expect, man, I don't know how long really this is gonna go. It could go 15, 20 minutes, or it could probably go an hour. It depends. So if you have questions, again, make sure to leave them down below. I'm going to try and do double duty here. I'm going to try and manage the questions myself and everything, but oh, I saw a comment come in. Awesome. So I don't have to, okay, everything's controlled. Under control. Everything's under control. All right. So 5:05. Let's get cracking here. So what are we going to do? So basically, I'm going to help you understand whether or not a coding bootcamp is worth it. Obviously, there's a lot of coding boot camps. We're not the only one, but I'm going to share with you a lot of things that are going to help you understand whether or not it's worth it to you, and maybe even whether or not it's really not worth it. So you'll be able to understand what questions to ask yourself, what questions to ask a boot camp, and really it's going to help you get a context of whether or not this experience is something worth it to you. Okay. Who am I? I'm Jimmy Flores. I work for Ironhack. I'm the content guy. So my thing here is to try and tell our story as best as possible, to try and tell the students' success stories as best as possible, to try and help you get as much information as you need to make a decision when looking and considering coding education. And yeah, so that's kind of what I do here. And these live streams, the intention is there's a lot of questions that people have when shopping around for a boot camp. And the idea is to begin creating a series of live streams like this one that will begin answering all those questions and then give you a forum where you can ask questions and get answers live. Because frankly, I hate it when I have questions and I have to wait to email someone and then get a reply. And I like real-time stuff. So this is the opportunity for you to have real-time answers. So do yourself a favor, take advantage of this moment to ask your questions. All questions are valid. You know, never think that, oh, this is not really the right question, blah, blah, blah. Just ask it, and we'll get into it. All right, so there's a question, what's the difference with an IT degree? I will, actually, you know what? This is kind of leads quickly into the first question. So the first question, the first reason of whether or not a coding bootcamp is worth it is that it's what I consider a smart shortcut. So IT degrees tend to take, what, 4 years, 5 years, something like that. And then let's say you decide to get a master's, so you tack on another year or two. And if you're crazy enough to want to get a PhD, well, that's another series of years. So you're looking at the very minimum 4 years up to whatever, however much you want to spend studying. So an IT degree is fantastic. You know, I'm not knocking universities. They have their place. They're extremely valuable for people that really want to go extremely deep in everything that is computer science, information technology. You'll learn the ins and outs of the whole process. Now, there's a lot of things that you don't need from those degrees to be able to work as a coder. So what coding boot camps do is they are these smart shortcuts to when you don't have those 4 years and when you want to make a big move. These are experiences that will condense the most valuable parts of this coding education, these parts that companies really are looking to hire for, and we teach you that in 9 weeks if you are part of the full-time boot camp, or in 6 months if you decide to take a part-time course. So basically, we distill coding education into the most valuable pieces, the most useful pieces, the pieces that companies are looking to hire for. So in our case, we teach JavaScript. And we recently changed from Ruby on Rails to JavaScript because we saw that the volume of job offers looking for people with JavaScript skills greatly outnumbered those with looking for Ruby on Rails skills. So, you know, these coding boot camps like ours, basically what we do is we say, okay, you know, the job market, the technology industry is looking for this specific type of skill. This is our opportunity to build an educational program that teaches precisely the skills that you will need to be able to get hired as a junior developer. And that's kind of the difference between coding boot camps and IT degrees, to where a coding boot camp, one, it's not accredited, and really it's here to get you from wherever you are into this new job as a junior developer as fast as possible. So when you don't have those 4 years and when you need to make a change fast, that's when the coding boot camp comes in. So that's why I call this the smart shortcut. So basically, we're there to kind of hack this process of this educational process. So that's kind of the big difference. And then, does anyone have a question around this smart shortcut point of view? Because I could go into a much longer explanation and start getting into details, but in reality, this is kind of the most valuable piece of it. I will wait a couple seconds, and if no questions come in, I'll keep moving forward. I would like to take your questions on you know, as we're going. I don't want to wait till the end because, you know, not everyone will wait to the end. Although I really hope that I'm entertaining enough for you that you will want to wait to the end. But so let's see. For now, I don't see anyone else having any questions. So next point is coding boot camps are worth it because they quickly help you create a portfolio of work. And this is one of those things that, you know, when you don't have an IT degree, or a computer science degree, there's a thing that you'll see on a lot of job postings that will say, blah, 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 4-year degree, or comparable experience or demonstrable experience. So basically, if you don't have a degree, they want to see the work that you've done that demonstrates that you can do the job that they're looking to fill. So a coding boot camp, at least ours, I don't know really the ins and outs of other coding boot camps, but what we do at Ironhack is we have, for our 9-week boot camp, every 3 weeks you have a project. I believe the first project is a game. You'll build a JavaScript-based game, and then you'll build a project that integrates with different APIs that you can choose, and then you have your final project that that kind of pulls everything together, and you get to show off your skill set. So in this coding bootcamp, you'll quickly develop these 3 big projects that when you go looking for this new job, this career change that you might be looking for, you have something that you can show. You have something that you can say, look, I built this stuff. People can begin to see the quality of your code. They can also begin to see how you learn, and that can help them really place you in a team. So you can very quickly go from not having coded in your life or coding very little to having 3 really solid projects that can represent you as a potential candidate. And that's one of the things that really make a coding bootcamp worth it, that you have this opportunity to dedicate your life to building this portfolio of work that, frankly, for most of our students, this is the thing that really gets them hired. And that's why I believe that it's one of the big points that make coding bootcamps worth it. Let's see. Why would a programmer take a coding bootcamp? Fantastic question. Are there specific field boot camps? Yes, yeah, there are. How far do you become a programming professional with boot camp? We'll go into that. Is it mid-30s too late to make a career move like this? No. So I'll go into these questions a little bit more in depth. Don't think that those were the answers. So, all right. So let's see. I'll go in and answer your questions before we move along then. So why would a programmer take a coding bootcamp? Well, a lot of times one of the biggest positive points is it's a refresher. Sometimes you learned programming when, a few years ago, you ended up working in something else, and now you want to get back into programming. So a coding bootcamp is worth it because you get to, in 9 weeks, take a hardcore, very intensive refresher that will put you back on a level of being hireable for a company. So a programmer that may have been out of touch with programming, but also a programmer that might not have the skill in JavaScript. So let's say you're a programmer in a whole different language, but you see that JavaScript is really popular. You could decide to take a coding bootcamp to go really deep and really far in JavaScript, so that in 9 weeks you could potentially have a brand new skill set that would make you even more attractive to a company. Are there specific field boot camps? There are boot camps in different topics. I think that when it comes to coding, there are generally boot camps that specialize by different languages. For example, Ruby, JavaScript, and then you have, I wouldn't call them boot camps, but you have other educational offerings, intensive courses that do deal in, web development, apps, stuff like that. And how far? So, look, let me see. I'll get into this question later. That how far will you get in programming? And is mid-30s too late to make a career move? No. We see people. I would say that I would begin worrying if you're over 40, really, because the reality is that the technology industry has a gigantic problem, not only with sexism, but with ageism. So people are not only being discriminated, and this is just a reality that we have to deal with. People are being not only discriminated on sex, but they are being discriminated on age. So I would say that coding boot camps are not magic bullets. They're not going to come in and solve your life's problems. So if you're, I would say, over 40, have a really deep conversation with us, personal conversation with us, and we'll help you understand whether or not this can be feasible for you. I mean, it could be if, let's say, you came from an IT background, you have experience in technology, maybe you don't want to be working as a coder, but maybe a boot camp can help you raise your skill set. Might be interesting if you're over 40. I'm not saying it's not, but so yeah. So let's keep moving along. Profitable career. A coding bootcamp is extremely worth it when you find yourself in a career that maybe you kind of stumbled upon, that you really didn't choose, maybe that right now that you really don't like, that you don't make enough money. So usually money is a big problem. Um, and these coding boot camps can really help transition you into a career that's of higher growth, where there is more potential to earn more, to actually move up in a company, where because right now there are a lot of jobs and a lot of industries that are dying, and because they're dying, people are not finding work, and when they're fired, it's really hard for them to transition into something profitable. So a coding bootcamp is extremely worth it when you find yourself with this opportunity to learn to code, to transition into a career in technology, and to begin working in a field that's probably one of the most in-demand fields, which is coder. So it can help you transition into a more profitable career. Um, Fulfilling work. So coding boot camps are also really worth it because for a lot of people right now, there's a reality to where the work that's being done by a great majority of people is not something where they can see a tangible result. So what I mean is there's a lot of people that are kind of just in intermediary roles where it's not really a creative role. You're not really creating anything. So you go to work day in and day out and you don't really see a big outcome for what you do. And a lot of times that leads to people being unhappy with the work that they do because they don't really see like the value in what they do. They don't see a result for what they do. So coding boot camps are extremely worth it because they can help you transition into work that for some people is a lot more fulfilling, because as a coder you deal with building technological digital online things that humanity has the opportunity to interact with. So you can actually go into work one day, start coding a piece of an application or a software, which can within the week's end be integrated into the product, and you can see people engaging with it. You can see people using it, and that's that's pretty cool. That's actually really amazing. It's powerful to be in that role of creator. So more fulfilling work, and it happens all the time. We see our students graduate and they move into new job roles where they're actually creating something, and they're seeing like a very, albeit it's not tangible. I mean, it's not like you're whittling away at a piece of wood where you can actually touch it, but they're actually seeing something that they created out in the wild, and that's amazing for a lot of people. So it's more fulfilling. Um, Extra skill set. So coding boot camps are worth it for a lot of people that, let's say you're in a role like in data, in business, in finance, in marketing, that if you knew how to code, you could do more things. So, for example, recently, Stripe, which is a company that deals in online payments, I think they were founded by one of the Twitter guys. I believe Jack Dorsey is either investor, co-founder, something like that. Basically, they ran an experiment internally where they taught whoever wanted to learn to code. They brought in a teacher and they put together a program and they learned to code, and the end result. I believe you can go Google the blog post Stripe coding in something, basically coding school in Stripe or something like that. The outcome was that people across the company got a completely new understanding for this digital product that they were working in. They got a completely new insight onto what was possible with, connecting not only to their own API, but to other people's API, other companies' APIs that would help them in their own job role. Marketing and finance both just, it was kind of like this aha moment to where, oh my God, I learned to code a little bit, and now I see that I can do a whole bunch of new things with this new skill. So for a lot of people, coding boot camps are extremely worth it because it can help them get this new skill extremely fast, without having to, put your career on pause. You could do it as a part-time, but if you can take this 9-week pause from your job, then you can jump in and take this amazing boot camp and get a new skill set that can completely set you apart internally within your own company. But if you decided to go out and try and get a better job, a higher paying job with a job role with more responsibility, you can easily add this skill set that would set you apart from so many other resumes that this hiring that this recruiter is going to have. So, this extra skill set is absolutely makes coding boot camps worth it. Question: what are the most important technical know-how for companies that are looking for programmers? Let's see. What is it? Let me try and understand this question again. What is the most important technical know-how for companies that are looking to hire programmers? All right. So, the way I understand this question is: so what should a company hiring technical roles understand about the technical role? Kind of. So this is actually that extra skill set. This extra skill set point actually speaks perfectly to this question because, for example, recruiters in technical companies right now, there's a gajillion tech startups, companies. There's more and more people hiring for tech roles that they really aren't sure about. So a coding bootcamp can definitely help, for example, a recruiter in a tech company better understand the requirements of their own technical team to be able to better put together job offers, job postings, to be able to better interview people, because they'll have this complete holistic understanding of what it means to work in this company. So this extra skill set can be extremely invaluable for a recruiter, for example, because all of a sudden you're in a position to where the lingo, the vocabulary, you understand what you're hiring for at a much deeper level. And I think it's especially important for tech recruiters to understand code because it's going to help you understand the person that you should be looking for. So I think for companies looking for programmers, I would say that whoever is in that company should understand, the stack that they're working with, the languages that they're coding in. Talk to your programmers and understand the problems that they have, what they find most valuable in team members, because that will help you really kind of hack this process of what you should be looking for. Ask the people internally, and they'll be able to guide you. Uh, Make more money. Who doesn't like more money? I like more money. Everybody likes more money. But we all like more money. But to make more money, you have to demonstrate to your company that you are of more value. So the more value you can bring to a company, the more value you can bring to a role, the more money you can justify that you're worth. So I think there's a big misconception here that, we joke around a lot here, that, with this word strategist, because it seems like right now everyone on LinkedIn is a strategist. I probably have it on my LinkedIn profile. So, but the idea is that, the problem with strategist is a lot of times there isn't this very, nuts and bolts, metrics and success driven kind of conversation with them, because companies, to give you can ask a company for more money all the time. It's just what have you done that merits this raise. So I think when coding boot camps are extremely worth it, because for a lot of roles, for example, on marketing managers, that, maybe they might have, come from a moment where marketing was not really online. Maybe they come from a world of mass marketing to where they were dealing a lot with television, radio, print. Um, Going through a coding boot camp can really help you understand the future potential for online marketing because, this new role, for example, of growth hacker is really a marketing person who understands technology, has some skill in coding to where they can begin doing things that a regular marketing person can't. So um, so to make more money, a coding bootcamp can definitely help you make more money by adding this extra skill set and by proving that you are of much more value to the company than you were before. So I'll keep moving along. Anybody have any questions? A reminder, thumb this video up. Give it a little hearts. If you love me, if you don't, if you like me, if you don't, just give me a little bit of love. Show me that you're there, that you're watching, that you're listening. I'm really trying to help you here as much as I can. Keep asking your questions. You ask your questions, I'll be able to jump in, answer them. I have it right here. I'm checking them out. I'm on top of things. So if you're considering a boot camp, this is a moment for you to ask questions to understand whether or not it's worth it to you. So I'll keep going. It's the perfect learning environment. So a coding boot camp is worth it also because you are going to find yourself, in my opinion, in the perfect learning environment because to learn to code, it's very intensive. It takes a lot of patience and a lot of dedication, a lot of repetition. It'll be frustrating. It'll be very frustrating. But when you find yourself in an environment where there's 20 other people in a class, where there's a lead instructor, where there's 3 other teachers' assistants, between 2 and 3 other teachers' assistants, when you have access to a giant community of alumni, of hiring partners, of professionals that are, at least in Ironhack's case, in our world, all there available for you really 24 hours a day because our campus here, at least in Barcelona, is open 24 hours a day. So you can come and you could really be working here round the clock. You find yourself in an environment where there's nothing else to do but learn. And if you sign up to the intensive coding bootcamp, to the 9-week intensive, your world is going to revolve around learning. And it's fantastic because it'll help you run into problems really fast. But with all of these resources available to you, you'll be able to solve problems extremely fast as well. And it's at that moment where you really begin to make a lot of progress in your learning. Because a lot of times when you're at home on your own, first of all, maintaining a schedule to where you're going to dedicate 1 or 2 hours, I'm not even saying a day, but 1 or 2 hours a week to learning, to a lot of people have the best intentions, and people try and they fail. And a coding boot camp is this moment to where you force yourself to just learn. You're in an environment where everyone is learning. Everyone understands what you're going through. They understand what you're feeling. When you fall, we're here to help you get back up because it happens to everyone. Everyone gets to this point to where they're at the highest of highs and they'll fall to the lowest of lows and then they'll come back up and I'm never going to learn this, or this is amazing, and then I'm never going to learn this. But we're here, and it's a family environment to where we exist to help you grow and to help you progress. So this is a perfect learning environment for coding. So that's another big reason why a coding bootcamp is extremely worth it, because you can learn on your own at home. Absolutely. There's lots of tutorials, and I would hope that you're already learning for with all the free and cheap stuff that there is. Books, Udemy tutorials, go to all of these places and learn as much as you can. But when you get to a point to where you need to supercharge this is the right environment to do it in. Prove that you can. This goes a little bit into the self-helpy type of area, so give me a little bit of margin here. But a lot of times we see people that they've been on the fence on whether or not they can learn to code. There's this idea that learning to code is like this, like you're going to be in the matrix when you get here. This place is pretty normal. I mean, it's a regular classroom. People bring in the same laptop that you have, and there is no black and green letters flying around. No, no, no. Anyone can learn to code, I believe, to a more proficient or less proficient level. That really depends on a lot of factors. But fundamentally, I believe that once you get into a boot camp, or at least into Ironhack's boot camp, you can learn to code. So this is one of those moments that a coding boot camp is exceptionally worth it, because you prove to yourself that you can. You've kind of pigeonholed yourself into a situation where you've already paid, you can't back out now. So we see it all the time. People get to the end absolutely astonished with their final projects. They can't believe that they built this thing in 9 weeks, or in the part-time after 6 months. And for a lot of people, it's a morale boost. It lifts self-esteem. It kind of shows you and demonstrates to you that if you put your mind to it and if you dedicate time to it, you can achieve anything. So this is another one of those very powerful things that are really at the other end of the boot camp that makes it extremely worth it. Code confidently. Let's see. Can you read that? Code confidently. There we go. Code confidently. So, what does that mean? So this is another thing that I've heard a lot, and it's basically the best students here were already learning on their own at home. Okay. So I would hope that if you're considering a boot camp, you're not considering it. That you're considering it after you have already been reading the books, that you've already been scouring YouTube, that you've already been taking Udemy courses, that you've already been going through Code Academy, that you're already going deep on the free to extremely cheap range of educational options. Frankly, do not consider a coding bootcamp unless you've started there already. Because if you go through those options and you still have the inkling and the desire to code, then a coding bootcamp can be something to consider. But a lot of what happens in that self-paced learning at home is that you will follow tutorials. Let's say you'll go and you'll buy a Udemy tutorial on JavaScript or on whatever. You'll go through it, you'll follow it all. It'll take you more or less time, whatever. But when you get to the end, you will have built something. But I hear it a lot that people still have this doubt on whether or not what they learned is enough. They don't have the confidence that they can build something on their own without following the tutorial. And this is one of those things that really makes a coding bootcamp worth it, where you can understand that you'll go through a whole process that when you get to the end, you have this confidence that you can be completely autonomous in building something. That if you have an idea, you can at least begin taking the steps to putting it together. So this code confidently is also fantastic, because really you'll get a comprehensive skill set that will allow you to really be autonomous, to really learn to build stuff, have the confidence in that you'll know how to take an idea and see it through to the end. So that's another one of these big things. Undivided attention. So this is extremely important, because for the full-time boot camp, which is 9 weeks, or for the part-time boot camp, which is 6 months, especially in the full-time, your attention won't be scattered. We will have your undivided attention. You will give your undivided attention to coding. I don't think that there's anyone that is here currently that really has anything else going on in their life right now, because all of the students here in the full-time 9-week boot camp, they're here from 9 a.m. to technically 6 p.m. and I say technically because the official end time is 6, but you'll see most of everyone is here until 7, 8, 9. There's some people that leave until 10. The campus is open Saturdays and Sundays, so we have people here almost 7 days a week. So this moment of undivided attention to learning is absolutely one of the things that make a coding bootcamp worth it. Because if you can slice out that chunk of 9 weeks to dedicate to learning this skill, if you can give it that undivided attention, only fantastic things happen. And I see that day in and day out. After every group graduates, I see that people started with zero skill or extremely low skill, and they build things that are absolutely fantastic. So this undivided attention is crucial to gaining all of the points that I've been talking about before. And here's a bonus, and this is the last one. So destination education, and let's say not everything is intense and intensive and oh my god, coding is gonna, your life will revolve around coding. But at least in our case, we have campuses in Miami, which picture Miami in your mind, palm trees and beach and sunny, pretty cool. Madrid, Barcelona, and Paris. So we have boot camps in these 4 cities that any one of those cities is a fantastic destination for learning. So there's this term called destination education, and we're kind of in that space too. So wherever you are, you can consider one of these boot camps as a potential. You could say, okay, I'm going to spend 9 weeks learning in Madrid or in Barcelona or in Miami or in Paris. How fantastic is that as a life experience? So this is a point completely aside, but I think coding boot camps are also worth it because they give you this opportunity to go visit a new place, to go be in a new culture, to go immerse yourself, potentially even in a new language. But yeah, the destination education factor is also one of the things that is extremely valuable in a coding boot camp. So we've gotten to the end. I will suggest a couple things to you before we wrap up. First of all is, if you have questions, leave them in the comments right now. Absolutely, leave them in the comments because I don't have to end now. We can keep talking for however long you want. So long as there's questions being asked, I'm here to help. So, but there's a URL here that I will paste into the comments. Okay, so give me 1 second. I'm pasting this into the comments. Boom, there you have it. It's pasted into the comments. Now, in this URL, if you want more information about Ironhack, and even though it says apply, don't worry. What happens is you'll fill in your information, and then you'll immediately get the course syllabus for the coding bootcamp. So with this course syllabus, you can check it out. It's a lengthy PDF. You'll get a lot of information, a lot of details. But if you're still interested, even after you filled it in, you checked it out, talk to us because we're here to help. We're not pushy salespeople here. This isn't that type of education. We're not going to ring your phone every other day. We're not pushy. On the contrary, we don't want to hassle you. We believe that if you're considering this and you want to talk to us about it, we're here to answer the phone, to speak with you via email, via whatever you want. So in that URL, you can request information. I would encourage you to do it. Any questions that you might have, we're here. We're here to answer. There's no one in Ironhack that is here just punching a clock. Everyone that works at this company, because it's still small, we're still, at this stage where, everything is really family, we're kind of like a little family at each campus. So, we're here to help, and we want you to get as much information as you need so that you can feel absolutely confident that you're making the right decision for your life. There will be more of these live streams coming up, answering different questions from different points of view. Um, but right now, if there's a question that you have, I'll wait a couple more minutes to see if anyone else has a comment. Um, but absolutely, ask me whatever you feel you'd like to know about Ironhack, the coding bootcamp experience, whether it's worth it or not. So as you've seen, there's about 10 reasons why I believe it's worth it, why I believe you should consider it if you want to level up your career, if you want to change careers, if you're unsure about what to do, whether or not to go to a university or not. We can help you understand all of this in a very non-pushy way. So, question. Companies look for all sorts of people specializing in different technologies. As long as you can show that you know what you're doing and have enough repos, you can get a decent job. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying that this is the only way. Like I mentioned in I forget which point, we help you build a portfolio of work really fast. And not only that, but we have excellent relationships with hiring partners. When the boot camp ends, we have hiring days here where there'll be 1 or 2 days where students will be here all day, and companies will come in, visit the students, meet with them, because all of these companies have real job offers. A lot of these job offers aren't posted anywhere. They have an excellent relationship with us. They know that the students that finish an Ironhack boot camp are at an exceptional level, so we've built trust with them. So we help our students find their first jobs. Um, we're not guaranteeing work, but from our track record and everything that we've seen, pretty much everyone's getting hired. So yeah, absolutely. Not trying to overstep you. I didn't have my headphones in and decided to chime in. I'm sure you answered the question pretty well. Oh, no, 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 not at all. This is a conversation. I wish you could. I wish more people would be chiming in and commenting. But yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think people really forget that the number one thing that will help you get a coding job is showing work that you've done. Show work that you've done. Show projects that you've done. Show things that you've built. I can't stress that enough to anyone considering a job change, anyone here at our boot camps. Build stuff, be prolific at building stuff. Your GitHub should be on fire by the time you leave here, or if you're considering, a career change. Because I absolutely think that you can get hired or get that career change even without going through a boot camp. But trust me, it's not easy. It's not easy or at least there's not a lot of people who have that just brutal self-control to where you can manage your life in such a manner to where you have a full-time job and you learn to code and you build a bunch of stuff. And I think this is the type of learning environment that for anyone that's really serious about a career change, learning to code, enhancing their skill set through code, I think a boot camp ultimately becomes a really feasible solution to that problem. Questions, people. Give me some thumbs up. Show me some love. Give me something here. If you don't have any more questions, I'll be signing off, and I really want to keep talking. Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't want to go through all of these again, but maybe I will in a few. I'll repeat this live stream in a future event. But right now, if you have any questions, it's the time. Okay, weird question. I love weird questions. How do you see a copywriter, 6 years in advertising, learning to code? Definitely a boost to my profile, but just to know your opinion. Oh, I love copywriters. Copywriters make the world go round, and I honestly believe that. Yes, you can build a digital product, but if you're a conversion copywriter, you can sell a digital product, and that's fantastic. So let me answer this. Quick question that came in. Yeah, I am in Barcelona, but Ironhack is in Miami, Madrid, Barcelona, and Paris, and soon to be probably in like a gajillion more cities. So, but anyways, so back to this question, copywriter. Frankly, what I would suggest for a copywriter is first, go to Udemy, sign up to a JavaScript course. Um, Go to Code Academy, start going through their CSS, their HTML, their JavaScript, start doing all of this learning on your own, okay? First, if you like it, if it sparks your curiosity, and if you finish all these things, and if you say, I want more, then you should talk to us. Because I think at that point, because I don't want to say, oh yeah, sign up to a coding bootcamp, it's going to change your life, because it's not true. I think it can only change your life if you really are passionate about this change. So, but the way I see it is knowing how to copyright and understanding digital product, it could probably be exceptional for a career change, or if you want to be an entrepreneur. It really depends on what you want, because from right here, I see, how do you see a boost to my profile? So it's basically enhancing your skill set to be a better copywriter. Well, I think it can definitely help in the sense that one of the key things for copywriting is research. So the more you know about your product, the more you'll be able to have these unique points of view that will help you write the right type of copy to sell it, to have people understand the potential, the value, that life-changing possibility and potential. So if you learn to code and you dedicate yourself to copywriting for, let's say, technology, absolutely. You can definitely understand products much better than other copywriters who don't know how it works. Um, Actually, you know who you should check out? You should check out Joanna Wiebe from Copy Hackers. Joanna Wiebe from Copy Hackers. I only follow like 8 or 9 people on Instagram, on Twitter, and she's one. And basically, she was the copywriter for Intuit, which is like a finance product and a SaaS product. Check her out, and you can learn a lot about copywriting from her. But I think that there's this possible convergence that can happen to where you understand much more about the product that'll help you write better copy. So I don't know if that helps answer your question. What is the difference in level between the telecommunications engineering student who has just finished the degree and a person who has just finished the boot camp? So the biggest differences between people who finish, let's say, who just come out of IT, computer science, telecommunications, and a bootcamp student are a couple. So, you know, the people with the degree understand technology, understand kind of let's say that they have a much deeper understanding of everything that is involved in digital product, in computers, in servers, in a whole bunch of things. Where the coding bootcamp student has the leg up is they have actually learned a technology, a coding language that is in extreme demand. They know how to put things together to build products. They have gone through and learned how to learn. I'll repeat that. They've learned how to learn. So this means that by the time they get to the end, when they join a coding or a development team, they have this ability to, whatever they're thrown, they now understand where to begin looking for solutions to the problem that they have to solve. So they learn how to learn in the bootcamp to solve real world problems that companies have. So a lot of times bootcamp students are, let's say a bootcamp student and a recent graduate at the same age, the bootcamp student sometimes is a little bit more hireable just because they can demonstrate that they've built things in the same technology that the company is using. So it's kind of an advantage when you have two people and one has 3 or 4 projects that they've built in JavaScript and you develop in JavaScript versus someone who has a degree from a fantastic university but really doesn't have a portfolio of work that kind of says, hey, I can solve the problems that your company has. That's kind of, for me, the biggest difference that I see. I don't know if that answer is good enough for you or not. Uh, Curious, you write TypeScript. Let me see that TypeScript question for a second. Mark, Mark, do we have something that with TypeScript? Do we teach TypeScript? Yeah, yeah, we do. TypeScript is included in our curriculum. So yeah, I mean, I'm taking the boot camp. I'm taking the part time. Like, I can't take the full time, but I'm taking the part time. I'm only in week 1. So when I finish it in November, I'll have I have such a better working knowledge of the technology. Tor, I have a question. TypeScript, what do we teach around it? Like what? Because I have a question of whether it includes TypeScript or yeah. Just tell me the answer. Just TypeScript, yes. Like what types of details could I tell them?
About TypeScript.
Yeah, about what we teach with TypeScript.
Well, right now, we use TypeScript because we teach in AngularJS and
Okay.
they are using, well, with AngularJS,
We
you have to use TypeScript.
Okay, so we teach TypeScript because it's part of Angular,
Oh,
and
it's the language that uses Angular.
okay, so yes, I mean we do teach TypeScript because it's part of Angular, and I know there's this kind of giant Angular versus React, um, but because we know it's important to know both, we dedicate ourselves to Angular right now. But for example, last night, we had a workshop for our students and open to the public as well on React. So the idea is that whatever's not 100% included in the program, we supplement through workshops. So we try and cover everything that you're going to need to know to be an exceptional JavaScript developer. Um, I didn't know you were on AngularJS. I figured React. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, the React versus Angular. So I guess one of the reasons we went with Angular is because more of Google's products are built off of it. So the assumption is because React was only for like really Facebooky type of stuff that it almost was like the scope could be broader of potential Angular implementations, but in reality, we're trying to teach both. We're teaching Angular in the class, but we're supplementing with React workshops and events. So that's what we do. That's how we roll. If there's something new that comes out and it's not in the curriculum, you can bet that it'll be in a workshop or in an additional event here on campus. Let me know. I'm here. You got questions? I got answers. Uh, David, what's up, buddy? How you doing? David, oh man, I know him from Madrid and Wasabi App Factory. Shout out to the homie David and Wasabi App Factory. That's right. I'm right, am I? Yeah, Wasabi App Factory. Brilliant dudes, like absolutely exceptional developers. Let me go check out their website right now. Wasabi App Factory. I remember these guys. They're brilliant dudes. Uh, Anyways, I'll check them out later. So, anyways, no more questions. I'll give 1 more minute. No more questions come in. We're out. Uh, do, 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 do. Let's see. So I got another minute. If you have any questions, I would say fill out the application form, get that free syllabus, read it. Have a conversation with us, a personal conversation, because a lot of times that can help you. Um, how in detail do you guys go? Okay, let's establish something. A coding bootcamp is not going to get you to senior developer level, okay? 9 weeks, the reality behind 9 weeks and learning how to code intensively is you will finish the bootcamp at a level where companies will be happy to hire you as a junior developer. Okay? There is no magic here. You're not going to finish a boot camp, and any boot camp that tells you that you're going to be like this fantastic, amazing, like magical, that's a lie. You'll finish with amazing projects. You'll finish having learned enough to get you a new job in a career that you didn't have before. But in coding and in technology, you never stop learning. Your life is going to be a continuous process of learning. New technologies will come out, new frameworks will come out, people will develop new everythings. And your job will be to stay current and stay on top of what is in demand. So when you finish our coding bootcamp, you will be ready to continue this learning process. You will be ready to be hired as a junior developer. And I mean, I know of situations where people have been hired way above junior developer level after the boot camp. It's not the norm. The usual is junior developer. The salaries vary across the board, across countries. So we can't say, you're going to be making X amount. Really, that's up to you to negotiate. That's up to you to, you want more money, build more build more projects, and show the company that you can build a lot of stuff, that you're great. That's how you're going to make more money. Oh, for sure, I'm already a dev. Just entertaining the thought of getting taught instead of teaching myself. Just entertain. I'm not sure I understand that. Just entertaining the thought of getting taught instead of teaching myself. What do you develop in? Because if you tell me what you, I mean, we teach JavaScript. So if you don't have a, knowledge in this, you're curious about, going really deep in a coding bootcamp, then Node React. Oh yeah, so you know JavaScript. Um, Instead of teaching myself, oh man, dude, you're a dev. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I'm entertaining to a dev. So, all right, people, I'm gonna wrap this up now. Yeah, if you have any questions, email us, write to us, go to our website, get our syllabus following this link right here. It's also pinned to the comment section below. I hope that I've been able to help you. Check out also our events section for the Ironhack page. There's a lot of live streams coming up this week answering different questions. You'll get to see more of me, hear more of me. I'm a pretty fly guy. And you'll see me with a haircut next time. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this up. I hope you've had an entertaining time. I have. Yeah. Peace. Good luck coding. Yeah, code a lot. Get deep into it because it's amazing. Being able to build digital stuff is absolutely fantastic. So, yeah. See you later. It's weird to end these things, but I have to go now. Bye.